All right, so now that we've taken care of contextual problems, I'm just going to help you kind of organize your thoughts by going over this summary page. So I'm going to call this number 1, 2, 3, and 4, although nobody calls them that. This is the model form. You remember everything is equal to y equals abx. Let's quickly go over what that is. A is my initial, my x-intercept, my start. B is my growth if it's bigger than 1, my decay if it's between 0 and 1, and then X is my time. Okay, so every one of the different formats that we're going to look at in terms of contextual will be some abbreviation or some change to this general formula. So if you look at all the changes, all of the A's stay the same. So my initial value is always the same. What's going to change is your B, so that's these inside the parentheses, and your time or your X, which is outside the parentheses. Looking at the X's, you can see there's only one change. There's only two options. Either you have X or you have X divided by K. So let's talk about that. So I'm going to skip over the growth and decay factor first because that one is the one that has a lot of changes, and go to what X means. So remember, X means the time, right? So if I just have X, that's the time every 1 year, every day, like exactly 1. It's the time exactly 1. So when you're reading a problem and it's saying, it's doing something every day, that means it's exactly 1. You're just going to have a time of X. So for example, if I say each hour, each day, right? So it's each 1 hour, each 1 day, then the time is X. In contrast, when you have divided by K, it's a period of time. So what you're looking for at that point is that there's a number bigger than 1. So it'll say something like every 5 years, every 10 hours. There's basically a time period and there's a number there that is bigger than 1. So I divide by K, or I divide by that time period. In this case, I would say X divided by 5 if it gives me years or hours or minutes or any kind of time that's bigger than 5. Okay, so that's all the X's. So if I look over here, you can see it says every 4 years, I divide by 4. Every 6 hours, I divide by 6. Each year, it's each 1 year, I just have X. Each year, I just have X. So that's all the X's and X divided by K explained. So let's look at the B's. With the B's, you have a couple of options. So you have B, which is your factor, okay? If you have keywords such as, hey, I want you to double it, I want you to triple it, etc. You also have a factor if it says that it remains. So for example, if I say the bacteria triples each hour, I'm saying the word triple means multiply by 3. The factor is 3. If I have a question that says 2/5 of the bacteria remains, so 2/5 is my factor. It's the number that I keep multiplying by every single time. And this remains is exactly what goes in there. So your B is either it'll say double, triple, it's what you're multiplying by or what remains in the problem. So for example, your population doubles. Okay, if it's doubling, what's the number? It's 2. So that means your factor, your B is 2. Okay, now put in what we've just done together. Let's read some examples. So this one says your bacteria triples each hour. So triple is your B. Each hour, that would be 1x, right? An x into your question. 2/5 of the bacteria remains. The fact that it says this remains, 2/5 remains. 2/5 is your factor, and it says each day, so x is just x. Looking at this example, population doubles. So doubles is how I am growing. It's doubling, multiplying by 2 every time. Because it says every 5 years, it's a period of time, so it's going to be x divided by 5. So this will be 2 in here and then x divided by 5 and so forth. So we're going to move forward to all of these. You can see here we have 1 plus, 1 minus, 1 plus, 1 minus, and then we have r divided by 100. R means your rate. Okay, so my rate is usually like my percent rate. So if you see percent in the question, you must always divide by 100. So the fact that I'm dividing this by 100 means I will see percent in the question. So if you look over here, you see percent, 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 because I'm dividing by 100. Now, what determines whether it's 1 plus or 1 minus is the keywords that say something like it increases by, grows by. Now that keyword, and I've made this a little bit bigger for you, is by. So I really actually want you to kind of highlight the by. Okay, grows by, because if it says grows to, it's different than says grows by. Grows to means that's what's remaining. So we have to be very careful when we're reading these questions to make sure that we're doing what it says. So if it grows, if it gets bigger, it's 1 plus. If it gets smaller, it's 1 minus. Okay, so again, all of these are percent problems. 1 plus, it's getting bigger, so it grows, it increases. 1 minus is it loses, it decreases. This is also appreciate, could be another word. Depreciate could be another one for 1 minus. And those are the difference between 1 plus and 1 minus with the percent signs. Okay, then of course now you have that with the time period. All right, so let's take a look at an example. Money grows. If it's growing by, that means 1 plus, and because I have a percent, 3 divided by 100. So you should have 1 plus 3 divided by 100. Because it says each year, each 1 year, it should just be X. Here, a car loses. If I'm losing money or losing value, I'm going to be 1 minus 15, because anytime there's a percent, you have to divide by 100. So 1 minus 15 divided by 100. Value each year, each 1 year. So my X is just X. Value grows. Grows means increases, right? So this will be 1 plus. Then you have a percent, so you have to make it a fraction. So 10 divided by 100. So 1 plus 10 divided by 100. Every 4 years, because there's a period of time, it's X divided by 4. Medicine loses, so that's subtract 1 minus 20%, make it a decimal, so 20 divided by 100. So 1 minus 20 divided by 100. Every 6 hours, that means time is a period of time, so X divided by 6. All right, now you're going to come here and you can see the only difference here is now instead of percent, we have 1 plus some kind of number. That number can be a decimal, that number can be a fraction. So 1 plus means it's growing by that number. 1 minus means you're losing that number. So if a score increases, increases means I'm going up. So that word by again, so increases by 1 plus 0.5. And then because I have each round, each 1 round, time is just X. So 1 plus 0.5, time is just X. Machine keeps 0.6 each cycle. So if I keep 0.6, right? So I'm going to subtract 0.6 because I'm keeping that. So it's going to be 1 minus 0.6 each cycle. So each cycle, each 1 cycle means time is just X. So 1 minus 0.6 raised to the X power. A town grows by. So what is happening? It's increasing. 1 plus 1/5. I do not divide by 100 because this is not percent. So this is 1 plus 1/5. And then I have every 10 years. So there should be X divided by K. Finally, a substance loses. So if it loses, I'm decreasing. That's 1 minus 1/4. So 1 minus 1/4 every 8 hours. So that means that I X divided by 8. Okay, and so this is just a sheet to kind of organize your thoughts. They can give you any kind of contextual problems. The biggest thing that you need to remember is the difference between X and X divided by K is if you have the time is more than 1, so every 5 years. And then 1 plus 1 minus means that you see something grows by, increases by, appreciates by. That word by is a key word. So you're going to do 1 plus if it's going up, 1 minus if it's going down. If there's a percent in the problem, you divide by 100. If there's no percent in the problem, you just put it in there. That's pretty much it. Let's practice.